Okay, so today we're going to talk about things a little bit differently because today we are going to talk about what happens, what do you do as a homeschool mom if you are going through a season of sickness. Now, I'm not just talking about chronically ill, I'm talking about that what happens if you get sick. Now, I've talked about this on this channel before, and so yeah, some of it's going to be a little bit of a review. I do have some recommendations for some videos if you are willing to put, I know some people are like no technology whatsoever. I take more of a moderate approach to that. So I think it's okay in moderation, but I do have some clean or Christian documentaries and things like that if you find helpful, you could get ahead of time just in case you have a day where you need to continue homeschooling to keep up your days, but maybe you just have a sick day. All right, come along and we're going to talk about it. Hi, my name is Amanda from Learning to Live Well, and today we're going to talk about what do you do when you're sick. So this week we had a little stomach bug go through my house. We are still currently dealing with it today, but at least I'm up and running, but I haven't been at full force for the last 2 days. And although some people may power through it, I have found if I don't just give myself the time off, I think I stay sick longer. And so yesterday, I did some core subjects with the kids, and my husband was thankfully at home to help me with some of the I did some of the together subjects with the kids, and my husband was home to help with some of the core subjects. But that is not always the case. Yesterday was a different day because his days at school just seemed to line up differently. But that is not always what happens. And so over the years, I have things that I tend to pull out on mommy sick days that I can lay on the couch and I can watch the kids, and I'm not up running around trying to get all the homeschool done, but we turn it into either STEM days, project days, or I'll put on a documentary and we will watch that. So that is harder to find as a Christian than you would think. Some of the stuff I have pulled up mistakenly, sometimes like pulled up PBS and just went through a documentary, and I think I scarred my kids a little bit. And so even though it was a factual documentary on the Russian famine, I was not aware how brutal the documentaries got and how much they showed. And just in all honesty, I was not 100% aware of how much nudity would be shown in those documentaries. And so gotta watch that next time. And that was one of my fluke days. And although it was reality, and my kids handled it really well, just because they're just rock stars, honestly. They handle things very well sometimes. And yeah, but don't want to do that again. So with that being said, I thought I would talk about some of the things that you can do to fill in the time that you can prepare beforehand, just like we have our medicines, and like I make elderberry syrup every season around cold and flu time. And if you're interested, I can link the recipe to elderberry syrup. It's from Roots and Refuge. It's awesome. I add a little echinacea to it, but other than that, it's really good. I make it and it helps us knock out the sickness faster. Praise God for the wonderful things God has made. But yeah, it's good to have a kit together or some ideas in the back of your mind, especially if you're new to homeschooling, so you're not floundering on those days that you don't feel good. Maybe you've got a splitting headache that you just cannot get up. Or if you come down with COVID or flu, and maybe your husband just can't take off like that. Like mine in school, there's only a certain number of days he can without hurting his career or hurting his school. So there are times that you just have to have something in your back pocket to pull out. And that's what today's video is going to be about. So I'm going to share some things that were either given to me, or maybe were a gift to my kids, or things that I purchased that we've used that we really like. And I'll pop up some pictures on the screen. Christian Bookstore has a lot of these resources. I was actually surprised when I started going through Christian Bookstore how many educational DVDs they had that can maybe supplement for you on a day that you just need the supplement. So one of the first things is this. I don't know if you can see it. It's called Drive Through History. I believe it is, yeah, so it's Drive Through History. This one is Discovering America's Founders, and it is done by a biblical worldview. So if you have anyone in the range, really, I mean, honestly, it could go all the way up to 10th, 11th grade because there's so much richness in it. And even if you watch it once, you can definitely pull more facts from it. They also have one for Drive Through History for the Holy Land. That one's a little bit more expensive. They have one, Drive Through History, for like ancient civilizations. But it's just a really good DVD, especially if you know that you're going to be in American history for like the next 3 years. Like for us, when we did America's Story, we were in America's history for 3 years. If you're in world history for 3 years, going back to ancient civilizations and watching through it, it's not a waste of time. So the big thing is I don't want to just throw something on that's a waste of time for my kids. I really want to put on something educational if it's supposed to be through homeschool. That also brings me to something like Superbook. Superbook you can get on, I think, Amazon Prime. You can get it on like PureFlix. You can get it on, I'm not exactly 100% sure but I know you can get it on there. And they have really good Bible lessons. Like when I read through or watch through with my kids, I am blown away at how much stuff I'm like, was that really in there? And I'll go check and I'm like, yeah, it was in there. And so I'm developing my Bible study skills as well while watching it with them. And they're coming out with some rich theological insights even at young ages. So I like that too. I don't have this one, but I'm going to pop a picture up. It's called Liberty Kids. Now, this is what my kids have been currently watching while I have been recovering. They also have watched Iggy and Mr. Kirk on PureFlix as well, which that one we just discovered, but the kids really like it. It's done by Kirk Cameron, and my younger kids really enjoy that. But Liberty Kids is a factual cartoon series that is based off of historical facts, as far as I can see, very accurate. And it makes history engaging and interesting. It tells it like a cartoon. So instead of your kids just watching TV aimlessly, they're actually soaking up some of the facts that they're learning in their textbook. So you're going to kind of have that reinforcement to whatever you've already learned in history. Another thing that we like to do is, I'm trying to think if there's anything else, is STEM kits. So another thing that we like to do is STEM kits. If you do not have STEM kits, I get them a lot around Black Friday, which is going to be coming up pretty shortly. And you can get like 4 or 5 projects in one STEM kit, and around Black Friday, you can get it for about $10 or $12. So it gives that opportunity for your kids to be working on some kind of science project that you can just kind of monitor while you're down. And it's all in one kit. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to go out. You don't have to do anything crazy, but you can hand them a kit. Now, obviously, this is going to be for a little bit older kids. You can hand them a kit and you can let them work on them. And then that way they can kind of read up on some of the science behind it. They can get some hands-on things that will keep them out of things while you're not feeling good. And also it gives them some extra school learning while you are down. There are tons and tons of resources that I'm sure that people can add to the comments. And if you have something that you do when you're not feeling very good, please drop it down below so that we can help each other out, because this really is a community. Excuse my messy room. I am a mom with 4 kids, and you can probably see my clothes hanging out on the line out there. And I haven't been feeling good for the last couple days. So I'm just being real with y'all. You know, not every part of my house is perfect. Not every part of there are things that I want to decorate and fix and change. Obviously, I don't, show you every nook and cranny of my house. But yeah, it's still like, just being real with you guys. I hope you can forgive the laundry on the rocking chair. But yeah, so I hope this helps. I hope that you guys get some good ideas as a springboard for you in the future, so that when you are down, when you are sick, if you have some things that, oh, and the other thing is reading books based on literature. So like, for example, Jeanette Oak. Jeanette Oak is a Christian author. She wrote a lot about the Canadian West. You guys would probably might recognize her from like One Calls the Heart or Love Comes Softly. And they have a series of Hallmark movies that are actually clean. So we have a rule in our house, clean or Christian, and it is a clean movie that is nodding towards God. And they do talk about the Bible, and they do talk about receiving Christ, and they do talk about some of those things as well, which is really cool. And on top of that, then you can go back and read the literature, or go ahead and read the literature as one of your readers and then add in the movies. And you can do that with a number of movies. Like we have like Little Women on Lois May Alcott. We have, now I know these are like girly kind of things, but they don't actually, One Calls the Heart's really cool. Actually, they have a lot of action in it. Especially the book series. The book series has a lot more action in it than you would probably think. And we have, let's see, there are also like, there's so many different documentaries that you could bring in. Like, I know there's documentaries on C.S. Lewis, there's documentaries on all kinds of things. So just go ahead and keep a running list, because we know cold and flu season's coming up. Lord willing, none of us gets it. But since that's not always a guarantee, let's be prepared and do the best that we can. And just look with prudence to the future, and being prepared for days that maybe, whether you feel about it, or maybe it's you have to catch up on some stuff. Who knows? But this is a really good opportunity to sub for those days that you need them to be in homeschool, but they can't be with you all day long. So I hope this helps. I hope you enjoy this content. If you do, feel free to join the channel. And yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day, and God bless.